Be steady. Be calm. Be confident. Things are looking actually pretty good right now politically. If you happen to be following the crisis in the Middle East, there's an area called Rafah that Kamala Harris did not want the Israeli military forces to go. Stay out of there. I've studied the maps, she said. You heard the tragic news going into Labor Day weekend that as the IDF was nearing a rescue of 6 of the hostages and the monster terrorists, Hamas, knew they were coming, they put bullets in the heads of all 6 of those hostages, including the American Hirsch, who so many of us were following his plight, his ordeal. He's the young man who had his arm blown off on October 7th when he was hiding in a bomb shelter with others at the Nova Music Festival. This poor kid endured all this time an amputated arm, an arm ripped from his body. They kept him alive. They tortured him. They tormented him. And then, as the IDF forces were nearing him to rescue him, they put a bullet in the back of his head. The Kamala Harris, Tim Walz response to this is off the charts scandalous. First of all, if you've got the Democrat nominee for president on record as saying that there should not have been, there should be no military effort to try to rescue people in Rafah, and then you discover that's where the American was killed. Incidentally, what's the American response going to be to this? This was an American citizen. It is so bad right now. New polling suggests that the Democrats did not get their post-convention bump that they had hoped for. New polling suggests of the 7 swing states that Trump is going to win big. I say be steady. I'm borrowing the term from my friend Tammy Bruce over at Fox News. She's very, very eloquent about this. Stay steady. Stay strong. Be confident. Don't be cocky. But as I predicted, politically speaking, the Democrats are going to enjoy August. We're going to enjoy September and October. Next week's the debate. A week from today. Can you believe it? You got your ticket yet to join me in person at the Studio Movie Grill? You better hurry. There are only a few left. Go to theanswertampa.com. We're going to be at the Studio Movie Grill in Seminole, Florida. We're going to have the debate on the big screen. My buddy Bill Bunkley from our sister station is going to be over there. We're going to have a Q&A. I'll be broadcasting nationally, doing some cut-ins on the Salem Radio Network, Salem News Channel, and you're invited to attend. This is going to be an event. This is going to be an epic, epic event. So get your tickets quickly, theanswertampa.com. Great food is available to you. Beautiful recliner seats. The big screen, I'll be there providing commentary. We'll talk on breaks. You and I will talk together. I can't wait to meet you. If you want to join us a week from tonight at the Studio Movie Grill in Seminole, Florida, go to theanswertampa.com. That's the website where you can order your tickets today, theanswertampa.com. How bad are the media elites attempting to drag this pitiful Kamala Harris, Tim Walz ticket across the finish line? You know, I've had people in Minneapolis, St. Paul tell me that the local media in the Twin Cities of Minnesota is as bad as it gets anywhere in America. They are absolutely Pravda. They are absolutely off the charts, far, far, far left. The Minneapolis Star-Tribune, the local affiliates. Look how bad this gets. WCCO is a legendary station in Minnesota, right? Big CBS affiliate. So they're interviewing a Republican politician, Scott Jensen. He was the former Republican candidate, I believe Republican. I'm not sure. Can you fact check that? I don't know if he's a Democrat or a Republican. No idea. Never heard of Scott Jensen. But I sure do appreciate showing you what they did. Now, check this out. Now, listen, years ago, I went to the Minnesota State Fair. And it's a great experience. There's a lot of wonderful people there. But there's, of course, a lot of lefties there. It's Minnesota. It's the blue Twin Cities, right? So check out this local reporter. They're on a set at the Minnesota State Fair. And she's interviewing this former gubernatorial candidate, guy named Scott Jensen, who dares to criticize Tim Walz. And they pulled the plug. They cut the feed. They literally ended the broadcast mid-sentence. Here it is.
The governor has agreed to a debate on October 28th. You're not thrilled about that.
Esme, you and I both know that that's a sham. Early voting starts in less than 3 weeks. Come on. What's happening is Tim Walz wants to have one debate as late as he can, potentially after 50% of Minnesotans have voted, and say, see, all the major news programs understand that I've had a debate. At this time, 4 years ago, Tim Walz had participated in 4 debates. He's absolutely been shutting them down. He wants to do this one debate so far into it, just before Halloween, and you know that he's actually using you to put out his message that I want to debate. He doesn't want.
Looks like we lost that feed right there. You were just hearing from Dr. Scott Jensen, and we're going to continue to update you online on this ongoing.
Looks like we lost the feed. It just went black, and it still said live in the upper left corner. You know somebody said, uh-oh, he's criticizing the media. He's saying we're being used. And incidentally, that's the plan. Run out the clock. Minimize any conversation you have with the media so that the early voters are going to stupidly vote the wrong way before you know how bad they are. Now, more trouble at the Minnesota State Fair for Tim Walz himself. He was at the fair, and a reporter goes up after the news of the 6 hostages being slaughtered breaks. The reporter asks him for his response. Now, this isn't a hard answer, right? Even if you're a lunatic leftist like he is, a tyrannical nut job like this guy, a weirdo governor like Tim Walz, look, this isn't a hard answer. Our hearts go out to the families. This is shocking. You know what he does? He freezes, he waves at imaginary people, and he tucks tail and runs. Check it out.
What's your reaction to the 6 hostages being found dead in Gaza?
All right. Thanks, everybody.
That's it. Thanks, everybody. Thanks. So let's go to Kamala, as if things aren't bad enough for Team Tim, for Team Tampon Tim. How about Kamala Harris? Oh, my gosh. So do you have both versions, Christian? So she's on a campaign tour in Detroit, and then she goes to Pittsburgh. Now, she reads the same speech over and over again. All she's got's the teleprompter. Bring on that debate next week, huh? Check out how she talks using the same words when she's in Detroit in front of a prominently black audience, and then she's going to go to Pittsburgh where it's a prominently white audience. First, here's Detroit.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. Thank unions for sick
Here's Detroit
leave.
Pittsburgh.
Thank unions for paid family leave. Thank unions for your vacation time.
So in Detroit, she's talking like she's a pastor at the Ebenezer Baptist Church. But in Pittsburgh, she loses the accent. I mean, you better thank the unions. I mean, somebody posted over the weekend, she sounded like Foghorn Leghorn. Look at here. I'm going to tell you one thing. That's Detroit. But then in Pittsburgh, she sounds like Marion the librarian. Play it again. I thought we had them separated, but they're together. So let's play them again. First version is mostly black audience Detroit. Second version, mostly white audience Pittsburgh.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. Thank unions for sick leave. Thank unions for paid family leave. Thank unions for your vacation time.
These are not serious people. There's just no way. There just is no way. I know I sound cocky and I shouldn't. There's just no way. There's no way they win. All right, it's 17 past the hour. Let's get your reaction to all of it. We're in the Relief Factor studios. 1-800-655-MIKE. There's going to be a morning after when Republicans win big on November the 5th because Americans aren't going to put up with this anymore. We haven't even gotten to the NFL rookie shot in the chest in San Francisco, in Kamala's San Francisco. That's where she's from, you know. We got a lot to cover, a lot to break down. I hope to put your voice front and center.
Mike Gallagher.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time.
Now, I have a serious, honest question to ask you. I've been a talk show host for decades. If I had a black caller and I started talking like with a black accent, maybe I'm trying to sound like a black man on the radio, and I don't even know if I'm doing a good black accent, wouldn't you call me a racist? And wouldn't I deserve it? If I'm faking an accent to talk to an audience, and I'm a white guy. Now, is it different when you're a person of color? She's a woman of color. Does she get to take, she grew up in Canada. She doesn't talk like that. She's a phony. And she's patronizing, and she's racist. How is that not racist? I'm dead serious. How can you get away with that? And again, you hear the same words in Pittsburgh, not quite as black an audience. Check out the Pittsburgh, same script.
Thank unions for sick leave. Thank unions for paid family leave. Thank unions for your vacation time.
That's how she really talks. That's how the woman talks. Not back to Detroit, not like this.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time.
Democrats do this all the time. Remember when Hillary did it? I nowheres feels tired. Remember that one? Obama's done it the same way. And again, does it matter if you're a person of color? I'm absolutely fascinated by how Democrats get away with this. Brenda's in Louisville. Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Mike.
Hi.
One or two things is happening. Either she's trying to break into a comedy routine, which very well may be likely, or she's appealing to those voters that they believe don't have enough sense to get any kind of an ID that they can show when they go to vote. So one or two things.
I mean, it's reprehensible, Brenda. It's appalling to watch people get away with this kind of bigotry and racism. It's racist. You can't pretend to have a black accent when you don't talk that way. Who does she think she's fooling?
Not me or you, and not your audience.
I hear you. All right, appreciate it. 800-655-MIKE. Betty in PA. Betty, hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How's it going, Betty?
Good. My husband and I live in Butler, Pennsylvania, Butler County.
Uh-huh.
But the reason I called is because I did not hear all of the campaign between Kamala and I don't know if Joe spoke yesterday, but I know he was there. But all the lies that were told by Bob Casey and Josh Shapiro, our governor, they should be embarrassed. Josh Shapiro stood up and said that Pennsylvania, we have all these wonderful jobs for laborers, and I want to know where he came up with that line, because I know there are companies here in Western Pennsylvania that are hurting for workers right now.
Well, everybody's hurting, and you've been through it. If you're in Butler, Pennsylvania, you went through it, and you've been near the site of what could have changed the country forever. Thank you, Betty. I'm a serious question. I want you to give me an honest answer. I don't care if you're white, black, or green. If you fake a black accent, are you a racist? 800-655-MIKE.